Hey everyone, welcome back to the J plus K Retro Gaming channel. And yes, unfortunately, you have to put up with my makeshift Raphael mask for at least 1 or 2 more weeks as I play through my TMNT catalog. This week's episode, I'll be playing probably the most popular of them all, the 1990 NES version of the arcade game. So in 1989, Konami released its arcade game in the arcades, and it was a worldwide hit. And since then, it's become Konami's highest grossing arcade game. Let me know in the comments if you guys remember that epically huge arcade cabinet where there's 4 joysticks for each of the turtles color-coded so that you can play through the game with 3 strangers or 3 friends as for hours and hours on sometimes 1 or 2 quarters, depending on how good you were. Blowing through Foot Soldiers, Bebop, Rocksteady, Shredder. That was an awesome game. It was a huge cabinet. It was definitely in the center of all the arcades growing up as the main game. Because of the huge success in the arcades, Konami quickly ported it to home entertainment systems, one of them being the NES in 1990, and that's where we will start our gameplay. So it's time to get our turtles on and play TMNT, the arcade game. So there you have it. That was just a small taste, small sample of the TMNT arcade game for the NES. And this arcade juggernaut definitely ported well on the NES. So of course you could only play with 1 or 2 players at home instead of the epic 4-player co-op that you could in the arcades, but it's still cool to play with another friend or family member, busting through all the foot soldiers and playing the TMNT arcade game in the comfort of your own home. That was so awesome, and it has definitely aged well throughout the years. So the 5-minute challenge, I'm not even going to talk about that, it totally blew it away. But let's talk about the ratings. So music, if you guys saw my last video last week where I did the TMNT 1989 game, where it didn't use the actual Turtles music, this game, of course, does use the Turtles theme music, and actually during each level, there's different music playing, but it still had the undertones of the Turtles theme, so that was awesome. So music, sound effects, audio, I give it a 9. Definitely awesome and nostalgic to hear that old Turtles theme. So next up is visuals. So of course, coming from an arcade game ported onto an 8-bit system, there's going to be some flaws, and I saw some of the colors were a little bit washed out, like the Turtles were just a washed out one shade of green. Some of the foot soldiers were the same of the purple, but I didn't mind that at all. The actual graphics were really cool. The little details like the signs, the Pizza Hut signs, and some of the wanted posters, some of the storefronts, they're still really cool. And even the details in the Turtles, like the headbands, the throwing stars, the foot soldiers. So each of the foot soldiers were colored differently depending on how tough they were and what kind of abilities they had, if they had throwing stars or knives, swords, bombs. So that was really cool. So graphics, I give it a 9 as well. Definitely good stuff for 8-bit system. So last but not least, gameplay. Really fun gameplay. The mechanics were awesome. The jump and the kick, the weapons that you use. Sometimes you could kick lampposts or meters. I love everything about the gameplay. It was easy, so it wasn't very complex, and it was very smooth and very addictive. What more could you ask for a side-scrolling beat-em-up game? You don't want it too complicated. So gameplay is gonna get a 9 as well. So 9s across the board. This game was awesome. So the TMNT arcade game has definitely lived up to all its high ratings, all of its critically acclaimed online reviews, and I give it probably, I think, my highest rating, 9 out of 10 Marios. So that's it for this week's 5-minute gameplay challenge. Hope to see you next week, where, spoiler alert, we're going to be playing the sequel to this game and see if it can break the curse of the sequels and maybe rank 9 or higher, maybe 8.5. We'll see. So I want to thank you all for watching, and thank you to all our subscribers for your continued support. Hope to see you next week.